name is Ashton Root. I'm president of a company called PixelGigs, which is really a two-part company, so I've been dealing with a whole lot of stuff during the startup phase. We have a product called Impact Office. It's a software suite for small businesses. And then the other side of the business is a network marketing division where we are growing a whole team to help sell this product and people have ability to make money. So it's really two businesses in one, which we've been dealing with, which has been an interesting challenge. The hurdles we've overcome to get where we are today has been, like any entrepreneur, just tons of them coming at us every day. Probably the biggest, well, two of the largest hurdles has been, number one, funding, because we've so far raised about $3 million into the company, and we've just really launched. We did a lot in we had an alpha and a beta test of not only the software product, but also the whole business model, which I think is so important. And if I could give any real, advice to someone starting a company is start really small and perfect your business model before you go blow a bunch of money on testing phase. But funding has come to us. My dad is CEO of the company, and he had a whole lot of contacts in the financial services industry, so we raised a lot of money through there. But also in our alpha and our beta phase of the company, people came to us and said, wow, I can see that this company is going to go somewhere, I'd like to invest in it. So a lot of funding came that way as well. The other hurdle is we experimented quite a bit in a place where I know nothing about, which is developing a software program. So there was a large learning curve there. I'm certainly not, programming the software, but even just understanding the software programming road that you have to go down. And there were definitely some hiccups there. There's a saying that if you believe a programmer, you get what you deserve. And I believe some programmers and learned some lessons along the way. So those are probably the two biggest hurdles, the financing and the product development side of it. What tripped us up along the way was a false start or two. I thought we were ready to fully launch the company before the software was ready. And I now call that the beta phase of our business model, because we did learn a lot in there, but it was a hurry up and wait game. But again, in hindsight, while it was certainly tripping us up along the way, valuable lessons that we were able to bring forward for our whole launch. The most useful and important resources of all, and you hear it over and over again, but believe me, I've experienced it firsthand, are human resources. Absolutely. The people that we've been able to bring into the company as a whole, who know a lot more than I do about their specific area, was vital, absolutely vital in our whole beta test, development process, and now our launch. I certainly could not do it alone. And so it is the human resource. And then, of course, capital, money. It takes money to make money, and you can certainly do it on a shoestring budget. And even for the size of company that we're trying to build, so far I said we raised $3 million. For what we're trying to do, that is a shoestring budget. So it's money, but even more important than money are the human resources that are there. People who know what they're doing in their particular division. And we have a lot of different stuff going on. And so, at first I was wearing all the hats, and then it's so wonderful to find someone who can absolutely wear the right hat in the right division, been there, done that, they know what they're doing there. So now what I am doing is taking off some other hats and finding some good people to fill that void, and then just managing the different divisions, but the smart people will manage themselves, and they understand what they need to do. And that's what we have been building at PixelGigs. The abyss that we're standing in front of right now is, so we have this funding going on, right? But pretty soon the baby's got to get up and walk by themselves. So, is the funding going to run out before the income meets the monthly nut that we have to meet. I believe we're on track to absolutely do that, but it's a constant fear. And it becomes more fearful as more people become involved in the company and are really relying on me to make sure that all of this holds together. So we're a subscriber-based company, so it's all about getting enough subscribers to meet the monthly nut so we don't have to keep raising the money. And because I mean, it'd be horrible if you were starting a company and the money just dropped out, and that happens all the time. All the time with companies, and I've been involved in some failures before, and that's what happens. The money runs out, and it's like, oh, you're almost there. You always feel you're almost, on the edge of success, but the money can go away. So the abyss is, and the race is, I'll call it the race to be able to jump over the abyss, get the speed to jump it, is getting the company to a point of being self-sustaining. So, but it's that scary part. And like I said, it's, I could pick myself up and dust off and go start something else, again, because I'm a serial entrepreneur. But I don't want to have to do that. I've done that before. I'm 48 years old now. I want this to be the thing that, I can retire on and help other people retire on this business as well. And, but like I said, the more people who join, who are counting on PixelGigs, the more it, makes my heart skip a beat. Those sleepless nights, or the mornings in the shower when you're thinking about, okay, here's what we got to do, here's what we got to do, because the people are relying on us. The employees, the people who are joining our company through our network marketing division, the investors. It's a challenge, but that is the abyss. It's the What inspires me to keep going, really deep down, it's as an entrepreneur, as someone who's starting a business, you just have to reach down in your gut and inspire yourself. I mean, that's first and foremost. But there are those times where you need to be inspired by others and by the overall mission. Don't ever lose sight of the mission, what you want to do, why you started the company in the first place. And I don't know, just my father has been an entrepreneur, self-employed all his life, and my mother has been a huge support of all of that, an entrepreneur herself. So part of it's, I think, just genetics, but the other part, again, goes back to those human resources. Anytime I have, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, the FUD that creeps in, I go to those human resources. I go to the important people in the company and say, I'm standing on the cliff, lift me up. You can just say right there, I'm on the cliff, talk me back. And tell me what's going on here, and get me jazzed up a bit. And we do that to each other, because that same person will come to me, a week later and go, okay, jazz me up here, because it is a constant struggle, it's a fight, but certainly don't lose sight of the fun factor in it. Our company is called PixelGigs because it is a gig, it's fun, it's something we want to do. That's where the gigs part of it came from. Pixel is the whole computer, the software, everything else, but gigs is us. This is our gig, and we want to have fun doing the gig. So the need to make it fun, I think, keeps it going and keeps me. Who inspires me the most is my son, Taylor. He's vice president of the company, and my father, Jack, who is CEO. We had a few family businesses along the way. We had a very successful family business called Successful Money Management Seminars that we were able to sell. That was in 1998. And we kind of went off and did our own thing. And then my son came to us and said, came to me and says, let's build something like that again. That was great. I mean, that company we built to just a huge success. So he inspires me. And then, so that's the new generation, my son, and then, my dad there, who's just turned 80 years old, but he comes in every day just, full of piss and vinegar and is enthusiastic, Mr. Enthusiasm himself. And so we, as a core group, keep everything pretty and inspires each other. But again, I I can't thank the other people who are in the business enough. Doug Skordal, he's the director of Affiliate and Account Executive Operations. You know, he's so passionate, perfect person for that job. Someone else we just hired, Brittany Nelson. She has great experience in network marketing, and I just see her excitement for it and her need and ambition and what she wants to do. So that inspires me. So close people inspire me. Sure, you know, you could say that Steve Jobs or Bill Gates inspires you, or Warren Buffett. Absolutely too. But who inspires me day in and day out? My son, my father, and the staff.